Show respect, step back, no need for space invasion. Stop saying your room number at the day's end. Let the girl dance, that's really all she came for. $1 million dress probably came from the thrift store. Even though she seems to be exactly what you wish for, she's never coming in on your transistor. Don't matter if you're rich or piss poor, she's out of your league and in a different sport. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No creeping allowed, yo, you just get a glance. Don't try to swim game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch a show blow from a distance, but give us some space, son, let the girl dance.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Silvas.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
Welcome back to a brand new idea for slot rods.
We're calling this the SLOTRODS Underground.
This will be our first ever multi-event points championship, taking place over 3 months of winter in a little bar somewhere in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
We're going to take 24 of our fastest cars and a few late entries and race them for 3 nights for a total of 9 rounds.
Each driver gets 2 points for crossing start under power, 1 point for crossing finish in your own lane, 5 points for the win, making it a max total of 8 points per round.
Well, buddy, all that's left to do now is hit the light and drop the hammers. Let's get started. Round 1, race 1 is the 55 Nomad called Valentine.
Ooh, looks like Valentine got a new look.
Yes, she does. Versus one of our newest members, Mark Rendos in Golgotha.
Yeah, looks like Valentine got off the line first.
And looks like Valentine held him off all the way to the finish line.
And that, folks, gives Val her first win.
Round 1, race 2 is Tim Clark in the red 68 Camaro called Red Reaper versus Michael Mack in the 41 Ford called Bootleg.
Geez, looks like the Reaper got a little loose in the rear end.
Yeah, his booty was bumping both sides of the lane.
Yeah, watch this slow motion shot. Reaper gets up on his back wheels and rides a wheelie the whole way to the end.
This one was so close we had to pull a still photo of the finish, and we'd have to call this Red Reaper by a bumper.
Round 1, race 3, we got Kel's Corvair versus the Wrecker. Wow, looks like Drew finally got that truck running.
Yeah, he tore the tow package off of it and lost about 3,000 pounds. And that gives Drew his first win of the night.
Round 1, race 4, Red Runner versus the Lambo.
Camera 1, are you on? Damn, Randy, you left that Mopar sitting at the starting line.
Insert flying squirrel reference here.
Lambo for the win. Round 1, race 5, my 59 Stingray called Prince versus Randy in his Ford GT called the Antidote.
I crossed. See?
Prince, 0 points.
Man, you really had to drive that one. Not too often you see two cars coming across the finish line in single file.
Sorry about that, Randy. My rear end took a bad bump and shot the front end toward the right lane, and I was just along for the ride.
Well then, that gives my little GT the win.
Round 1, race 6, the 69 GTO called Vengence versus that deadly little big tired Super Beetle called Good Vibes.
Man, that was the fastest race I've seen so far. Our new driver, Jake Rendos, made a good showing for the first time in that Pontiac.
Round 1, race 7, the 57 Chevy called Ruby versus the 64 Chevy 2 called 420 Time.
And Ruby wins it by a school bus. Round 1, race 8, a couple of serious slot rod OGs, Keith in the Cannonball versus Drew in the 8-ball.
And the Cannonball does what the Cannonball does.
8-ball, corner pocket.
Cannonball takes it by a car length, and that takes us to round 1, race 9. Tim Clark in Poison versus John Brown in his 65 Galaxy called JB Senior.
And John Brown wins his first ever race against a very bewildered Tim Clark.
Nothing like taking down a veteran racer with your very first time down the track.
Round 1, race 10, the Bird versus Lamb 2.
And the Bird gets his first win of the night.
Round 1, race 11, the 67 Comet called Meanstreak versus Ole Heavy, all the way up from Memphis. Yeah, that's a drag race.
And Ole Heavy sneaks across the finish line first.
Well, everybody, that brings us to the last race of round 1. We got Tim Clark in the Tri-Tower Tri-555 Chevy called Wicked versus Tony in his 66 Fairlane called Black and Blue. Man, these cars look so badass. They look like the old Rat Fink ride.
I know, all that's missing is the monster sticking out of the top shifting gears.
Oh, looks like Tony's Ford's feasting on Chevys for the night.
And that's my little black and blue for the win.
Our first race of the second round is Meanstreak versus Lamb 2.
And that race was all Mike. Meanstreak for the win.
Round 2, race 2, Drew in the Wrecker versus my Lambo.
Watch out, Randy. That truck's a killer tonight.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take 14 metric tons of shit off the back of your truck.
Left lane. Well, you managed to hold him off halfway down the track anyhow.
Yeah, he didn't pass me till damn near the finish. I didn't do too bad.
Round 2, race 3, Poison versus the Red Runner.
Yeah, Poison got him off the line and managed to hold him off the whole way to the finish.
Round 2, race 4, the Bird versus the 40 Willies called Golgotha.
And the Bird clipped his wings right before the finish.
Yeah, you put a tall crown gear in that Willys and you got yourself a competitor.
Round 2, race 5, the Antidote versus the Cannonball.
You need to stay away from drawing them fast cars.
And that embarrassing show gives Cannonball the win.
Round 2, race 6, Bootleg versus JB Sr.
Rolling on this end. And John forgot to go.
Yeah, you sleep on Bootleg and he'll get you every time.
Looks like JB almost came around him on the big end, but Bootleg's your winner.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our halfway point through the first night of this first ever Winter Point series.
Next time on Slot Rods, we're going to finish the second and third rounds and get our points all totaled up and find out where everybody is at in this race.
So, till next time, I'm Tony Mollick,
And I'm Randy Silvas.
and you've been watching Slot Rods.
She got so much style, it's ridiculous. The type of girl to witness all the wishes. All the bitches call her vicious, cause she got that something that they all are missing. Type of girl to make your mother mean. Make a straight girl wanna trade to the other team. Take a loyal man and foil his plans. He'll destroy his whole fam just for demands. And she won't even notice. She's focused on some bigger things. A lovely lotus as a bonus, she can trigger fangs. Fall at her feet, it's a solid defeat. But the call of the beat is all that she seeks. She relies on a butcher for eyeball of meat. Only goes to the club for the $5 drinks. Even though she ain't paid for one yet, she ain't teasing. She just ain't trying to leave the dance floor for no reason. Let the girl dance, don't in erupt. Nothing less than Patron in her cup. Gawkers all around, stalkers in the